Hi, I'm Kristina Arnold. I'm a visual artist and I use lots of different types of media and materials in my work. I'm going to talk a little bit about my installation piece, Every Word That Starts with F, family friendly version, and give you some insight into the ideas and the processes behind the piece.
I've always had an interest in science and in poking things with sticks, and that type of discovery continues to inform my work.
My undergraduate degree is in community health, and I spent some time before going back to art school working at the Vanderbilt Medical Center doing populations based research. A lot of my work is based on my interest in public health, on human biology, on the body and our relationship to the environment, and now I've been looking more specifically at the brain. Every word that starts with F consists of three main components.
9 large panels that hang from the ceiling, a nest-like structure of blown scientific glass that sits on a pedestal, and a sound loop that's projected into the space from speakers in the ceiling. Together, these elements are meant to create an immersive space for the viewer to navigate.
Frisky, fluffy fox, slow frog, free.
These panels are meant to be viewable both from the front and the back, and I want the space to be one that's inviting and one in which you want to walk around.
Fire, friendlies, furry, fluffy, ferret, friskies.
Materials and process are important to me, and often what I use and the way in which I work holds meaning in the finished piece. The panels are made from kozo paper, a strong, fibrous mulberry paper. They're stitched together using an old 1960s Singer sewing machine. This was my mom's old machine, and it's the machine on which she taught me how to sew. I also really like working with this paper as it's strong and tough and can handle the multiple processes I put it through. I also go back into them and stitch over the top using the sewing machine. The stitching essentially becomes a record of time, and it is something that both strengthens the piece by adding mass, creating lines, creating stitches, and it's something that injures the piece as it pokes multiple holes over and over again. I see time itself as something that has both this type of additive and destructive effect. The marks and the wrinkles and the evidence of the processes that are happening to it are part of the work itself. I want there to be a record of the lived experience of the paper, and that's important in the work. Each of these smaller pieces is a cyanotype print that I've made. Cyanotype is a light-sensitive printmaking process that I can do in my backyard. It starts out with a blank sheet of paper. I coat the paper in a dark room and then take it outside and expose it using blown glass negatives. The blown glass lays on the paper in the sun and casts shadows on the paper. That's what's captured as the paper is exposed. These captured shadows talk about time and memory and dreams, and about a space that is simultaneously both real and unreal. I blow glass in my home studio. I have a bench torch, and the process is called flame working. I use borosilicate glass, which is scientific glass. The blown glass resembles structures in the brain: neurons, synapses, glia. Physically, what does it look like to have a thought or make a memory? I also think about things like plaques and tangles that can interfere with normal brain functioning, that can make us slow down or forget. Recalling every word you can in a minute that starts with F is a test used to assess cognitive function. The sound loop is me performing this test over and over again. It evokes both the tasks we perform to create memories and to assess them.
Fox, forthright, fern, friendly.
Every word that starts with F is about memory, both the tangible mechanics and hardware inside our brains, and the ethereal, intangible of memories. Through its physical accumulation and presence, its amassed and sometimes jumbled layers, it is fragile and ethereal, but also resilient and strong. Thread over paper may become confusing, but it is still intact. And where paper and thread may fade and degrade with time, glass will exist for millennia. This work asks us to consider the fact that while a human mind and body do not last forever, where they have touched others will leave a trace that is carried forward. Within these reflections, I find an aching sadness, and I find beauty, and I find hope.